The star of the Democratic National Convention might well be Chicago. Many here feared a repeat of the bloody police crackdown on demonstrators at the 1968 Democratic Convention, when protester Marguerite Horberg was 12.
I think the political movement is completely different. I think the country's changed, phenomenally since the 60s, so I think it's a really different time.
Instead, delegates celebrated how far they've come, nominating Kamala Harris, who would be the first black woman elected U.S. president.
Progress. Waited for this. I got in the civil rights movement when I was 14. If I went to a movie theater, I had to sit upstairs. If I wanted to get a hamburger, I had to go to a window and get it.
During segregation.
Chicago's own Barack Obama captivated the room with a soaring, hope-filled speech.
America's ready for a new chapter. America's ready for a better story. We are ready for a President Kamala Harris.
An echo of the Democrats' heyday in 2008, when he addressed a crowd estimated at 1 million strong here after being elected the first black president.
The whole world's watching.
While the host city showed its more optimistic side, there were tense moments. Protesters broke through a barrier wall, and police arrested more than 50 outside the Israeli consulate from a group that said it wanted to make it great, like '68. But this time, police showed far greater restraint.
The group that's protesting today, we're going to treat them the same way we would treat anyone who wants to exercise their First Amendment rights. And that's how it starts. It's always going to start that way. It's going to start with respect.
Officers used bikes, not batons, to corral crowds. One big difference between 1968 and now is security infrastructure. Back then, protesters interacted directly with delegates. Now they're kept in so-called free speech zones blocks away, and massive barriers ensure that protesters and delegates rarely meet. As delegates filled the United Center and the Windy City's hotels and restaurants, demonstrations brought thousands of protesters to the streets. Politics and protests carried on simultaneously, but largely separately. John Hendren, Al Jazeera, Chicago.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.